You are learning Power BI and you want to learn advanced concepts. You want to know how to apply the concept you have learned as a beginner in Power BI, then this is the series for you. So watch this complete series, know how various concepts can be applied to achieve different results. Subscribe to the channel. We want to register Azure SQL database. For registering Azure SQL database, we need an Azure account. We already created Azure free tier account, and in the same account, we would like to add one Azure SQL database. So let's jump onto the Azure. I have logged into the Azure portal, and in the Azure portal, I'm going to say SQL database. Now I need to say create SQL database, and it is asking me few details. So resource group name, let me take the demo myth already. Now database name, let me call it as demo. Now server, I don't have a server, so let me create a server. So let me say demo Amit. Let's see, is it a unique name? Oh, demo Amit is unique. Now what kind of authentication? Use SQL authentication. I'll say combine, and once I say combine, it will ask me for the login, and I need to select a login. I will select myself only, and let's see. Then I will create a login, and there are a few rules to create it. If you start typing like let's say admin, and just say that admin is not allowed. So what I'm going to say, let's say demo manager, and password I give something. Okay, so password is correct, and there are few things which you should remember. English uppercase letter, lowercase letter 0 through 1 alpha, and non-alphanumeric characters. Okay, so these kind of things are required. 128 is max, minimum is 8, so we need to be there. We created demo manager account, and we also have Azure authentication with it. So the server is created, it asking to save. We say okay, save it. Do you want to create elastic select pool? I'm saying no. Compute plus storage, it is giving me standard as 01. I'm fine with that, and we select this backup strategy. Local redundant backup storage, zone redundant backup storage, geo redundant backup storage we can select, or we can select local one. Okay, so create and review, or networking, connectivity access, public endpoint will do. Allow Azure service and resource to access this server, yes. Add current client's IP address, I say okay, fine, add it. Okay, allow Azure services and resources to server to communicate, and we say allow Azure services and resources, yes. Current IP address and connection policy default, use redirect policy, proxy redirect, we say leave it default, and we leave it default also. Next is security, start free trial, we leave as it is. Additional settings, none, this, and I don't think we need any other settings. Okay, estimated cost is this. Okay, so this much cost we are going to incur, so let's create this. It's validating. Deployment is in progress. And it might take few minutes, so I'm going to pause the video here, and once it is done, I'm going to come back. So many resources have been created, including the firewall, database, firewall rules, everything that we have done. I opted for the firewall, so that's why there are firewall rules. And I can say go to resource, and I could right now the access rule, which is because of the firewall we got it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, do I have SQL Server Management Studio I don't have right now, so I will install SQL Server Management Studio 2019, and then I'm going to connect it with the SQL server, Azure SQL Server. So SQL Server 2019, I don't need SQL Server Express, I actually need SQL Server Management Studio. So let me download SQL Server Management Studio, and latest version is 19, a preview 2, and then there is a already this version. So I'm going to write down download the stable version. It's going to do a little bit of time, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here, and once it is installed I'm going to come back and show it to you. So it is downloaded. Let's double click and install. It's asking for the permission, then asking for the location. I will not change it. Let me install it on default location. SQL Server Management Studio installation is in progress, almost there to finish it off. So it's continue to install the packages. Azure SQL Studio is something which we are looking at, and that's where we are going to query our Azure database. So let's wait for it to complete. So SQL Server Management Studio with Azure Studio has finished, and I'm going to close it, and let's begin our journey. Let's open SQL Server Management Studio. So SQL Server Management Studio. So now once it opens, we will be needing a URL to access the database which we have created. So we want to access a database engine, and we have option like analysis services, reporting services, integration services, Azure SQL Server analysis services, integration runtime, and all those. So let's go and find out our address first of all from the Azure. So I need to go to the my portal. So let me open my portal. Let me log in. And in my portal, see, I am already start getting charged. Okay. Now I go to my server and I'm trying to connect to my server. Then what is the information I need? I need this information. So let me try to get this, then go to back to the Azure. And let me try right now Azure Active Directory using username password, or let's say SQL Server. Let's say we created demo manager. Let's try that. And let me give the password. Let me see. Okay, so it's connected now. Let it load the databases. We'll see. We should see demo database. So yes, we see demo database. Now I will not have any data here. Let's see. And what we are going to do here is the right away our favorite thing is we're going to load some tables. So right click on the database. It's a little bit slow. And we go to the task and we say import flat files. Okay. And we are quickly going to import the data from our flat files. The flat files are the same file which are available at the GitHub. Our 4 tables, the usual 4 tables which we are using. So let me browse them. So they are under Power BI, data, CSV. And we are going to take the sales, small or sales. Let's take sales. Next, preview the data. Okay, column name invalid characters, that we are fine with, but data type is something which we need to correct. Okay, so date we are fine with this, small int, price. Let's make it, I don't like this data type. Let's make price as decimal, numeric, decimal. And why small int net? Why not int? Again, this should be decimal. Let's make it int. It's small data, but and let's see. Hopefully it should insert without any issues. So insert is in progress. There are 30,000 row which we expect, and see, we are not loading to the local SQL server. We are loading it to Azure SQL on the cloud. The data is loaded successfully. Let's click on the success. Look at this. There is only this message, and we say close. And I'm going to repeat this exercise quickly for all the 4 databases, all the 4 tables. And task, import flat file, next, browse, customer, next, next, int, varchar 50, varchar 50. I always prefer to keep common data types. So in case it's not also about Power BI, in case we are connecting to any other tool also, generic data type will definitely get suited for any other tool. So if the data type is not supported in that tool, you may face issue. So I only prefer the generic one. Before I go further and load the other dates, let me refresh and see, did I get those tables, and is there any data in those or not. So let me refresh this. So let me refresh, and now it's refreshed. Let me open the tables. It's a little bit on the slower side. Let me query this. Select 1000 rows. Okay, we got the data. I'm going to write down one query here simply. And I'm going to change the table name also to. These square brackets are only required if you have space in your column name. Sorry, table name and column name both. In that case, you can use square bracket. And I say select star, and let me do a count star now. I need to know whether I have 30,000 rows or not. So let me stop the older query. Execute this one, 30,000. Okay. So now I got my 30,000 rows, and I got couple of tables. Let me load the other 2 tables. Task, import flat files. Again, same process we are going to repeat here. We are going to load the item table, and we are also going to load geography table. Browse, item, next, this time it is a little bit faster. Item, int, varchar, int, varchar, and I know I am not more than 50 characters, so that's why I'm choosing 50. It's loaded quickly. Close, and let's quickly load geography also. Task, now it knows we are loading. Browse, geography, only 4 things. Int, varchar 50, varchar 50. You can take varchar max if you have bigger than that. Finish, close. All the data is loaded. You can refresh and check. after this step, our journey is same as SQL Server in terms of SQL. So if I want to run certain queries, if I want to, create some SQL, create statement, or insert, update, and delete, it's all SQL Server. There's no difference. Okay, similar kind of queries you can run here. So what we are going to do is we are going to stop here, and we will try to now see how do we connect this to Power BI. We have created Azure SQL Server into Azure free tier, and now we would like to use that in Power BI. So let's jump onto the Power BI and let's try to connect with our Azure SQL database. So we go here and say get data more, and we search for Azure SQL. Azure SQL database is something we want to connect, and it is asking for a URL. Let me copy the URL. That's the URL which I had. The database name is demo. I can use both import mode or direct query. Let me prefer import mode in this case. I would like to import. Then use my current credentials, Windows credentials. No, I don't want. I want database credentials or Microsoft account. One of the two things I have to do. That's what I have enabled there. So Windows credentials is not something I enabled there. And our user was demo manager. And our password was something. So now we are connected, and other than these two file table, these are the 4 table which we loaded. Let's quickly look, do they have the data or not? They have the data, and we are going to load all 4 of them. And let me load these 4 tables. And once you are in import mode, once the data is loaded into Power BI, there is no difference from where the data is coming. It's going to behave in the same manner in Power BI. So this exercise which we are doing right now is not going to make any difference for us the way we configure typically our sales demo. Only thing is we'll go look at our relationships, and we found that one relationship is wrong, and that's how our data set is. We know always this relationship, if you watch my previous videos also, this is not going to be correctly detected, and we are going to correct this one. We are not going to join this one also, so we are going to delete this. And now once we deleted this, we can create this relationship. And then we can analyze the data. So we can go to brand and category and see the data is not repeating. It means the relationship is correct. Now this is the first way. The second way is direct query. So let's do the direct query also. So we'll open a new file, and in the new file now we are going to try the direct query connection. So we go here and we say get data directly from the front screen. I'm saying get data so that I get that, and then I say Azure SQL. I got my Azure SQL database. I paste it here. The database name is optional, but I give demo, and this time I say direct query. And I say load. And we got all the 4 tables now, and this time they don't have to load data, so it's quickly loaded it. And in this case it's not detected the relationship. This is direct query mode. So let's quickly create the relationship. So geography, city ID, geography is city ID, and city one to many, single directional, we always prefer that. item ID with the item dimension. Again, one, this is many side, this is one side, many to one, correct join, done. Customer ID, this is one, this is many, one to many, correct relationship, we say go. And now we go and create the same visual here, brand and quantity. We'll get the same result, isn't it? Direct query mode, import mode, both ways we created Azure SQL server connection, and we are able to create a model and get the results. Now performance of the direct query model directly dependent on how many queries we can quickly execute on our SQL server, and import mode will definitely dependent on our Power BI capabilities. Once it is imported, it's all same. So go ahead and try this out, and do let me know what else you want me to cover in this particular series. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. Keep watching, keep asking questions in comments, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification for new videos. Thank you.